Continuing my indoor treatment trial. I've got my cooking spray sauteing in warm water here so that it'll spray on a bit more evenly. That's a trick I learned earlier in this process. And what I'm going to do, so that 3 mites was from a Apolife VAR or thymol treatment. That's interesting. I was expecting if there was a blip, it would have been on the formic, which is a more aggressive treatment, but it was the thymol. And so it occurs to me that and we didn't find any mites in these samples. So I think we need to back up one step and prove, are there mites in these hives? So I've got my Apivar strips, enough to do the top level of these hives. So I'm going to treat all of them with that and see what we get on those sticky boards. And we'll see, and I'll also put sticky boards in the rest of the hives to make sure that we're not seeing natural mite drops. So we'll have 8 Apivar treatments, as well as then we'll have 16 no treatments, although some of those will have ongoing trials of formic and so on that we put in earlier. So that's the plan. I'll also get my bee vac and I'll take some samples of bees from under the lids to see if we can pick up some mites there. So that's the basic theory of what we're doing here. The first thing I'll do is, before I disturb these hives, is slide in the stickies. So that's step 1. I won't show you all of them, but I'll give you a gist of what I'm doing here. A nice warm cooking spray. I for sure want to really have a good tie in between the hive. Each one of these is numbered with my playing cards that I set up with my trial last fall, so I'm continuing to use that numbering system. So this one is 3 spades. It'll get a Apivar. Is the 3 parts. We'll get the Apivar treatment as well. All these top ones will get that. Next one is the Jack of Clubs. And the last one, 10 of stays on this top row. Okay, so you get the idea. I've got, 14 more to do. So I'll do that. Then I'll turn the camera back on and show you the strips. Okay, here we are. The sticky papers are in. You can see they're just the tips hanging out. And then I've got bottles ready for each hive, and I've already labeled the lids. And I'm going to take my bee sucker and take a sample off and then put 2 strips of Apivar in. We'll wait 3 days and then we'll read those boards and we'll see what we get. All right, here goes. Okay. Not a terribly impressive hive. Fairly small cluster. And this was treated in the fall with the Thymovar. Yeah, still it's very slight smelling. We're probably completely exhausted. Okay. There's our sample. It's a single bee sample, so it doesn't have to be super large. That is the 10 of spades. And then we put in our 2 strips. And those get right into the brood area, or there is no brood, but right into the middle of the cluster. So they should be effective even at this temperature. Close it up. Next one. This one is one of the controls. Did not get a treatment in the fall. Oh, that's a club. It's got orange in it too. Huh. Okay. Oh, put the bottle on. Okay, that gives us 2 more strips to put in. Put it back along. Hearts. That wake the bees up a little bit. They're there, but the cluster is sitting below the top bars. Okay, they're starting to wake up. And strips. All right, now that's a good looking hive. That's the 3 of spades. Okay, half done. We'll go around the other side. Okay, continuing sampling and putting in strips in the next 4. This one is the 3 of clubs. Doesn't look too great until they start coming up to the top. There's lots of bees there. Next one is the 2 of spades. Another decent looking hive. Last 2. This one is the 10 of diamonds. Sometimes the bees are sitting, the cluster sitting above the frames. Sometimes it's quite a bit lower down in the hive. So just give them a little bit of a wakey to get them up where I can get them. Last one, Jack of Hearts. Another shy one. Come on, girls. With this duck-billed sucker, I can probably get down in between the frames to suck a few that way. Let's try that. All right, in the next video, I will, well, what I'm gonna do right now, I don't need to show you this, but what I'm gonna do right now is immerse all these in windshield washer fluid and let them soak for a couple of days so that the mites loosen off the bees easily. And then the next video, I'll assess the results both of the bee samples and also the 3-day results on all these sticky boards. If that apivar is effective, then it should have knocked down a bunch of mites if there are mites. And then so we should get a couple things out of this. One is we'll figure out whether sucking bees off the top finds the mites versus sticking apivar in, finding the mites. It would be nice if those two sets of results correlate to each other. And we're trying to find out if the previous treatments we tried are effective or not. So there's this is all, just trying to get a sense of what's possible with these bees sitting in here all winter. What I just did, I mean, the sample taking is actually the slowest part. If a guy was just putting in strips, you could do hundreds of hives a day. If you were just putting in, Thymovar wafers, piece of cake. So now, managing the hives inside, I don't think is impossible, but you would need, a bigger shed than a lot of beekeepers have, including myself, have expanded to the point where their buildings are pretty much full, and the forklifts don't have enough room to maneuver. So, how you would manage that is, let's cross that bridge. We're building a bigger shed just so I can drive a forklift around inside. I'm not spending that money. I'm not designing that problem until we know there's something I can do to these hives that is more effective than any of the options I have right now. All right, that's it for today. Thanks a lot.